Hello everyone and welcome back to Very Cold Lasagna, your filthy casual place for all the filthy casual takes on the world of sports. I'm your host, DylanLasagna, and we are back with another filthy casual recap of the 2022 NFL season. And man, what a week it was for the 5th week of the NFL season, and 1/4 of the season is all but wrapped up. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about this week 5 of the 2022 season, starting with the Thursday night football game that I highly recommend you do not watch. Not even the highlights. Please do not watch it, because America got to suffer through yet another ugly ass primetime game on Thursday night that's not even worth watching free on twitch.tv, as the Colts scored more points than the Broncos to win 12 points to 9 points over the Denver Broncos. And man, Russell Wilson is looking like a huge waste of money right now for Denver. And most certainly, Amazon is looking like they wasted a shit ton of money on spending this amount of money on Thursday Night Football. Like, my God, what a game, what a shitty game that was. Going to the Sunday slate of games, to the early morning portion first in London, mate. Waking up at early as o'clock. Waking up for work. Yes, if you do that on a Sunday morning like I did. The New York Giants scored 17 unanswered points in the second half off the backs of another huge Saquon game and a big stop from their defense for a huge upset over Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers, 27-22 in London. What a big win for the Giants over there. Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills absolutely dismantled the Pittsburgh Steelers and their defense for what it truly was. 38-3. Oh my God. What a game for Allen and the Bills, but what a terrible game for the Steelers. But hey, there is a silver lining for Pittsburgh. Kenny Pickett, looked decent, I guess, in his first start. But yeah, let's just throw him to the Wolves, I guess. So hey, you gotta let him get some experience, I guess. The Clippers, the LA Clippers, nearly struck again. They were down at one point. They took the lead, but then they nearly gave it away. Dumbass Brandon Staley went for it on 4th down, even though he was up 2 points, and turned it over on down midfield, but got real lucky that the Browns kicker, Cade York, missed the game winner. The Clippers hold on 30-28 over the Cleveland Browns. For this game in particular, both the Houston Texans and the Jacksonville Jaguars struggled on most of their drives on offense, but Dameon Pierce for the Houston Texans ran in a touchdown late in the 4th quarter to give the Texans their first win of the season over the all-elite, yes, the all-elite Jacksonville Jaguars are back, baby, 13-6. Kirk Cousins may have been perfect in the first half, but the Chicago Bears offense stopped playing some Bears football, and Justin Fields and the Bears took the lead late in the 3rd quarter, but the Vikings stormed back. Justin Jefferson, he was the one that got the touchdown and retook the lead, and the Vikings literally robbed Chicago of a win. They literally stripped it away from them, 29-22. Man, I was wrong about this particular game specifically. Bailey Zappi and Ramondre Stevenson of the New England Patriots complimented their team's defenses with a good performance of their own against the Lions. They were literally shooting themselves in the foot all day when they literally had a kicker and they didn't use him. As the New England Patriots beat the Detroit Lions 29-0. Nada. Zilch. When in doubt, give Taysom Hill the ball. And by doing that against the Seattle Seahawks, the Saints got a 4-touchdown game out of him to win a shootout and improve the 2-3. The Saints beat the Seahawks 39-32. The New York Jets took full advantage of the opportunity presented to them, as I said they would, right? Right. They broke it open in the 4th quarter. 2 combined touchdowns from Michael Carter and Breece Hall, and a defense swarming in on Miami's 3rd-string quarterback because Teddy Bridgewater went down after the first series with the concussion. The Jets just took down the Miami Dolphins 40-17. The Bucks jumped out to a 21-0 lead in the 3rd quarter, but allowed the struggling Marcus Mariota and the Atlanta Falcons offense to come back with 15 unanswered points in the fourth quarter, but their comeback would fall just short because Jerome picks his boogers. Yes, that referee robbed the Falcons of completing said comeback because of a controversial roughing the passer penalty on Grady Jarrett, on Tom Brady, because, yeah, that was apparently a sack. That was apparently a sack that he committed in the fourth quarter. What the fuck was that? The Bucs held on to beat the Falcons 21-15. A back and forth affair between the Tennessee Titans and the Washington Commanders ended with Commander Carson donating the ball to the Titans' David Long at the goal line, and the Titans hold on to beat the Commanders 21-17. Going into the late afternoon action, despite injury mania, dun 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 dun, it was running wild again in Carolina. The 49ers put together their best complete game in a long time with a shutdown performance on Christian McCaffrey and, surprisingly, a good showing, mostly from Jimmy Garoppolo in the offense, and a hammer that sent Panthers head coach Matt Rule out the door and Baker Mayfield on the injured list as the 49ers beat the Panthers 37-15. Kyler Murray, maybe he should have slid a little bit later because they had to spike it, and their backup kicker Matt Amendola once again was not clutch for the Arizona Cardinals as the game time kick to go to overtime sailed wide right, and the Philadelphia Eagles stay undefeated at 5-0 as they beat the Arizona Cardinals 20-17. The rush wasn't there for the Dallas Cowboys offense, but it didn't need to be because while their offense was, they were all right, their defense was stout. They get 5 sacks on Matthew Stafford. They get a couple turnovers as well. And the Dallas Cowboys, surprisingly, 4-1, beat the LA Rams 22-10, setting up a huge Sunday Night Football matchup next week against the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia. Man, that's going to be an exciting matchup to watch. About time. In the Sunday Night Football matchup of this week, though, a battle of great quarterbacks between Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson ended up becoming a game of chess between head coaches. John Harbaugh seemed to have redeemed himself of his mistakes from his 2 blown leads, for now at least, as he gave the reins to his kicker Justin Tucker, and he won the game for the Ravens with the game-winning field goal as the Ravens beat the Bengals 19-17. In the Monday night closer of the week, the Chiefs stormed back from a 17-0 hole to make it a 30-23 lead late, but the Raiders cut the lead down to 1 late in the game. But I don't think it was the right call to have Josh Jacobs try to run it in for 2. And they should have tried to tie the game, but I don't know. But neither was a good call to have Derek Carr throw it deep to both Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfrow at the same time. So the Chiefs hold on to beat the Raiders 30-29. Now looking at my winners and losers of week 5, starting with my winners, the New York teams. Yes, both of them are winners this week. Yeah. Cuddle me silly this week. Both the New York Giants and the New York Jets are winners this week. For the Giants, they kept clawing back when they were down big. What was it, 20-0 against Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. They clawed back with grit. They clawed back with creativity. From the Philly special fake-out touchdown run towards the end of the first half to Saquon Barkley going off, going ham again. This time against a Packers defense that pretty much shut down Tom Brady in the Bucs a couple weeks ago. This was a resounding win on Brian Dable for Brian Dable and the Giants. They should be proud of this win. Absolutely. As for the Jets, this was an opportunity, like I said in my picks, for them to take advantage of a depleted Dolphins team without their quarterback, and they absolutely did it. It might have taken 3 quarters to do it, but once the defense started to get rolling on the Dolphins' 3rd-string quarterback, they got some turnovers out of him. Zach Wilson and that offense, especially their 2 running backs in Michael Carter and Breece Hall, the offense began to reap the rewards in the form of a 40-point game. So, good job for both New York teams. Let's see if they can keep the momentum rolling. Then my San Francisco 49ers, surprisingly, in this list. They put together their best complete performance in a long ass time. Jimmy G had his mistakes, sure, but mostly effective in zipping the ball to his receivers and actually willing to get out of the pocket this week. And the defense, yeah, there were injuries, unfortunately, especially Emmanuel Mosley, which is going to suck. But they made a lot of big plays and stopped a lot of critical drives against Baker Mayfield and Christian McCaffrey. And yeah, they only let them sniff the end zone once. But again, they continually stopped drives from further happening against the Carolina Panthers. And then the Baltimore Ravens. Ugly at times on Sunday night, but Lamar Jackson and the Ravens defense stepped up at critical points of the game. And then credit to John Harbaugh finally learning his lesson for not going for it on 4th and goal, not getting too aggressive, and letting Justin Tucker take care of the ball and letting his defense do the rest. And then my losers of this week, the Detroit Lions. Like, what is Dan Campbell doing? He's able to move the ball. The offense is able to move the ball on a good Patriots defense, but when they're in, like, whether they're near the red zone or at the red zone, which is 20 yards or less, why do they keep going for it on 4th down? Do they have a kicker? Apparently I guess I'm answering my own question here. They have a backup kicker, but they don't want to use him. Like, Dan Campbell, even though you have a backup kicker, use the damn kicker. Get points on the board. Don't embarrass yourself. This was an absolutely embarrassing loss. 29-0. Your team is getting worse by the week. What are you doing? And then the other NFC North team, the Green Bay Packers. How do they not score any points in the second half? They were outplayed. They were outcoached. Aaron Rodgers kept airmailing his throws to his receivers. He was also rushing his throws. He ate sacks that he didn't need to do. All the while, the Packers defense was eaten alive by Saquon Barkley and even Daniel Jones too. They all need to get on the same page. Otherwise, if they don't, in the next coming weeks, and if the Vikings start playing with more consistency, because surprisingly, they're in first place. And sure, they took their foot off the gas pedal against the Bears. You know, if you're the Packers, you don't want the Vikings to start picking up steam in the North. But if you keep playing like this, you're going to be in some serious trouble. And then the LA Clippers. Yes, you're still calling the Chargers the Clippers. Because even when they win, they still lose. Because their head coach is still making dumbass decisions late in the game. Like, why the hell do you go for it on 4th down, up 2, with over a minute just across the Browns midfield? Don't you think it's a good idea with the Browns? I believe they didn't have any timeouts left by that point in the game. Cleveland didn't. But why would you give them opportunity for them to kick a game-winning field goal and get more yardage for Cade York to kick a game winner? Punt the damn ball. Take time off the clock. Give them less of an opportunity to kick the field goal. Force Jacoby Brissett to make a Hail Mary or something. What is he doing? Not to mention, they were already clippering it up to begin with, and they had to play catch up to the skid marks. I get it. No Joey Bosa. No JC Jackson on defense. You can't really trust your defense right now. But head coach Brandon Staley's got to make the most of what he has. Do it. So for my hurry up game for this week, we're playing some hurry up offense for this discussion. We got to talk about that roughing the passer call that happened on Sunday against Grady Jarrett, man. And then there was another one that happened on Kansas City Chiefs Chris Jones. Like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. Like, look, we know what's going on with the issue with Tua Tagovailoa's concussion, and his 2 concussions in 5 days, how he got sent to the hospital, and there's no timetable for him to return because of his 2 concussions, and how the league modified the concussion protocols. And how they should be better protecting the quarterback. I'm all for, protecting the players. But, if it's for stupid penalties like this, like Grady Jarrett, all he was doing was making a clean tackle on Tom Brady, a rolling sack on Tom Brady. And I think Chris Jones was doing near the same thing. Like, it's one thing to suplex a player like it's the WWE. Yeah, that should be roughing the passer or unnecessary roughness. But these were clean tackles that the players were doing. What are they supposed to do? Or what, if they're oncoming, they can't control their momentum. What are they supposed to do? Tuck them into bed? Like have a pillow next to them? Give them a stuffed animal? Or, treat the football like it's a stuffed animal? Oh, here you go. Or let me pick you up, gently put you down, and put you to sleep. Oh, yeah. Yeah, put me to sleep like that. These officials got to make it make sense. Define what's really roughing the passer and what's not. These officials are playing it like they are. I don't know what they're trying to make of it. Are they trying to make it like they want a specific team to win, or do they really want players to be safe about it? Make it make sense. Make these kind of calls make sense. Are you for player safety, or are you for bias? This roughing the passer penalties were really stupid. These were god awful. My word. So, that was my recap for Week 5 of the 2022 NFL season. Let me know how your team did this past week, and let me know your thoughts on these stupid penalties that happen all throughout the weekend, and especially those roughing the passer calls. But anyway, this is DylanLasagna signing out of Very Cold Lasagna with another recap of the NFL season. And stay tuned later in the week when we do my picks for Week 6 of the 2022 season. And until next time, peace out.